Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Randolph College Student Life panel. I'm your host, Lexi Mandrakis. I'm an admissions counselor here at the college. I'm joined this evening by our coordinator of student activities, Nick Spicer, our director of residence life, Ben Foster, our director of leadership and engagement, Amanda Denny.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Randolph College Student Life panel. I'm your host, Lexi Mandrakis. I'm an admissions counselor here at the college.
And our Director of Student Success. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you of just a couple of different ways that you can ask your questions this evening that we will allow time to answer at the end. You can tweet them to #RCStudentPanel. You can email them to me in the address that I've provided, or you can post them to the wall of the event, and we'll be sure to answer them accordingly. So, without further ado, we have plenty of questions to answer already, and I'd hate to take up more time. So, Nick, if you will, or I'm sorry, Ben, if you'll start us off.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Foster. I am the Assistant Dean of Students and also the Director of Residence Life. I'm responsible for all of conduct administration, residence life, new student programs, and I work also with leadership and engagement.
Hi, my name is Amanda Denny. I'm the Director of Leadership and Engagement, and I've just recently taken this job, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about some new opportunities that we have coming up, some of which you've seen posts on Facebook about. One is our Community Service Fellows Program, which will allow for 2 student leaders to lead a pretty significant community service project in our community with local nonprofit agencies. It's a great way to get involved, especially as a first-year student, and get outside of the red brick wall to be connected. I'm also going to be working with our Davenport Leadership Institute in the next couple of weeks, actually. They arrive on Sunday, and you'll meet those students when you come this summer for the summer orientation sessions on the 21st and the 28th. So I will meet you then, look forward to it, and hopefully you'll be able to get connected with a student that you can relate to that's a Davenport leader.
I'm Nick Spicer. I'm the coordinator of student activities. I advise the Making Activities Council, which puts on the events for students on campus. I also advise student government, the senior class and sophomore class, and work with intramural sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim Sheldon. I'm the Director of Student Success here at Randolph College. I'm the person who's been working with you so far this summer on getting your forms all ready and set to go. I'm also the person who's going to be working with you when you join us, as Amanda mentioned, for the summer orientation and advising sessions on either June 21st or 28th. Those are optional sessions that are set up to help you feel more comfortable with the transition to college. We hope if you're able to come that you do come. It's a great way to meet people here on campus, current students, faculty, and staff as well. So I'm here to answer miscellaneous questions, and at this point I think I'll let Lexi get started with questions.
Great. Thank you all. I'm sorry about our little technical difficulty we had earlier. We will start with questions that have been submitted via email. So Ben, these couple of these questions look like they're going to be directed at you. At the time when we find out who our roommates are, will we find out what hall we are residing in and our room number?
Yes. On July 1st, we're going to issue on the portal your room assignment, and you'll find your roommate, your floor, your room number, and I also will email the entire first-year class with some information on housing, what to bring to college, just some basic information to get you started.
Great. Thanks. How many choices do you have when it comes to food?
For first years, it's a mandatory meal plan, and it's 19 meals a week. And the variety in the meal hall, the variety in the dining hall changes on a daily basis. So it's quite a variety.
Excellent.
One thing to keep in mind for the meal plan is on Saturdays and Sundays, we only serve brunch and dinner for meals. We don't have a breakfast option.
You should also know that we do have a snack bar. It's called the Skeller, and it's open late in the evening so that you have an opportunity to get some snacks later in the night while you're studying.
Excellent. How safe are our dorms? Who can access the buildings and our rooms?
Every resident on campus can access every other building that's residential, so you'll be able to get into any residential building, any of the residence halls, no matter where you live. And they're very safe. We've actually never had any real problems with safety. We've been very lucky that we haven't had any problems with safety. Campus safety does regular patrols, and we have staff that are on duty. Really no issues.
Great. Is it easy to get access to the classes that you want or need?
Well, I should go ahead and answer that one. You've already, and thank you all very much for completing your course in housing preference forms, by the way. You did a great job of getting those in early. Currently what's going on is our master advisors are working together to create preliminary schedules for you. They're taking your preferences. They're looking at our schedule, and they're crafting a schedule for you that they think is going to work best for you in your first semester here. You have ample opportunity to work with an advisor if you come for our June sessions, or for certainly at our orientation programming. We have an opportunity to make adjustments as you need to. And as you go through the summertime, if you want to ask questions of our current students, especially our Davenport leaders, they're a great resource in learning more about our courses on campus.
Great. How might they be able to contact those students if they did want to ask them?
Well, I think posting to Facebook is probably a great way to get some of those questions answered. It's also a great way for folks who may have that same question to learn more about it.
Great. All right. This one is actually being asked on the live event, so we'll skip to one of those. Do all first years reside in the same hall?
No. In all of our buildings, except for West, we have first year specific floors. So there are 2 to 3 floors in every building that are first year only. Only first years will be living there on the floor itself.
Great. All right. How about, would we be able to decorate our dorms with things that require nails, or would we need to use a sticker thing?
We prefer that you use nothing that will put holes in the wall, so sticker things are appropriate.
Excellent. Do you mind specifying on what kinds of sticker things they might be able to use?
Sure. Any adhesive that won't leave a permanent mark is preferred.
Okay. Excellent. Let's see. Is there a bank on campus?
No.
There isn't a bank on campus, but we do have a BB&T teller on campus. If you do need to withdraw money, you can access that on campus, near our campus store down below the dining hall area. The other option is to cash a check at our business office window. We call that our cashier's window. The business office is located on the ground or the bottom floor of Main Hall. So you can cash a check up to $100 there. We do suggest that if you don't have a local bank, it probably will be easier for you for your 4 years to go ahead and set up a bank account here in town. There's a BB&T in walking distance right across from campus that will open up a free checking account for students.
Great. Thank you. Let's see. What size beds do we get?
We have extra long twins.
Okay. Excellent. Do all dorms have a laundry room and kitchen?
Every building has kitchens and multiple kitchens, and it alternates by floor. But not all buildings have laundry facilities. Main Hall and West do not. But we do not have any first years living in West, and there are only a limited number of first years living in Main. So most of you will have a laundry in your building. And the laundry is no charge, so you won't need to bring any quarters or anything like that. The machines are free to operate.
Okay. So just to specify, does that mean that everything that you need to do your laundry is also provided, or?
You will need to bring a laundry basket, your dirty laundry, and stuff to do it with. So make sure you have your laundry detergent. And we also have most students leave their laundry detergent in their laundry room, so you won't have to worry about bringing things back and forth.
Great. Are there any storage facilities?
We do have storage for currently enrolled students during the academic year, and that's available upon request to my office. So once you get on campus, if you have something you want stored, you just have to let myself or Danny Weaver, who is our associate director, and you'll get to meet us all, and it'll be very easy to contact us. All you have to do is let us know what you'd like stored, and we can work with you to that. So yes.
Great. What are the average measurements for the rooms?
Each residence hall has different sized rooms depending on what floor they're on. Every room's a little different, but on average, I would say 12 feet by 16 feet or 11 feet by 15 feet. That's really what we're working with. Some rooms are larger, some rooms are smaller, but on average, that's the best answer I can give.
Okay. We have another couple of questions coming in live here. So this one's quite general. How are the bathrooms and showers?
Adequate. They're wet. The showers are wet, right? So the showers have hot water and cold water that you can mix together to your temperature preference. No, we have ample bathroom facilities. Luckily, we have enough bathrooms really to go around. There are not long lines. There's plenty of bathroom space. We have a really great culture here at Randolph where there's no real problem with the bathrooms. People leave their personal belongings in the bathroom. People are very, very free with it. They're not messy. They're kept very clean. We really do not have a big problem with our bathrooms. So yes, the bathrooms in a general sense are pretty good from what I've seen.
Excellent.
Most students pack a shower caddy to carry their shampoo and their conditioner and all of their toiletries to and from their room to the bathroom, and their towels as well. They can fold those up and put them in the caddy for travel. And then other students will leave some of their belongings in the bathroom. There are cubbies there and space there for that to happen if your floor decides that's something that you're comfortable with.
Bathrooms are cleaned every day, sometimes multiple times per day, every bathroom on campus. So we run a very, very clean, very facility.
Great. This one is kind of to everyone. We'll let everyone weigh in at some point, but what do we do at orientation?
Well, and I'll start with that one just to get you rolling for the June sessions. On the June sessions, those are really a chance for you to get started meeting people on campus. In particular, you'll also be sitting down with an advisor and reviewing your schedule, so that's a great opportunity to ask some questions about courses at that point. Probably the best feature of the June sessions is getting to meet our Davenport leaders, and those are our current students who are going to be here on campus to help you with the transition. And they are also going to be essentially orientation leaders come the fall. So you'll get to know these folks very well, and they're really a lot of fun. So I know that you're going to enjoy that, that part of the experience. Also, we have an ample time for parents to ask questions of faculty and staff, so I hope if your parents would like to come with you at the June sessions, know that they'll have something to do as well. And I'll give it over to Ben and Nick and Amanda to talk about orientation in the fall.
So on August 27th is a Wednesday, and that's our first day of new student orientation. And at the beginning, it's really just move in. Everyone will arrive in the morning and move in. There'll be a check-in station, and we'll go through your paperwork. And then once we're done moving in, we have a variety of programs. There are a variety of programs to acclimate you to life at Randolph. We cover everything from policy to local area resources to student organizations. It's really a 3 or 4 days of a variety of programs. The schedule will go live very soon online once we have finalized it, and that'll be in July at some time. So you'll know what you're getting into. But for the most part, it's our chance to let you know what expectations are as far as student life is concerned. It's a chance for you to get engaged with your fellow students. You'll be split up into your Davenport groups, which Amanda alluded to earlier. We have our student leaders who are basically our orientation leaders. We call them Davenport leaders here. And you'll be working in a small group with your peers, 16 to 17 students. Is that correct? 16 to 17 students. And moving with them through the orientation. So we cover everything from policies to social events that we have lined up. We have a community service aspect to it. We get you out into the Lynchburg area. We do advising during that. We do course placement tests. We do course placement advising. We do some standardized testing that we do for people who are taking different courses. Writing placement tests. It really runs the gambit. So it's quite an eventful 4 days. It'll be very busy. Sports teams come and go with your practice schedule. But for the most part, we do honor programming. We learn more about the honor code. We do hazing education, alcohol education, sexual misconduct education, all the things that we need to do in order to make sure that you're successful here at Randolph. It's really the beginning of your time here. It's really the introduction to the college.
Excellent.
So along with what he said about educational program, he also mentioned we have social programs as well. So whether that's eating Rita's in your residence hall with your new RAs, or we have Think Fast Game Show. We'll do a carnival-like event with some different events in that, and then an outdoor movie night on Saturday night.
Great. All right, thank you all. Do boys and girls reside on the same floor in the residence halls?
Yes, most of our floors are co-ed. For upperclassmen, we have the ability for students to choose single-sex floors, but as first years, we'll not have that opportunity. As sophomores and going up, we do have space allotted to that single-sex floor style living. But as first years, it's entirely co-ed on floor.
And that includes, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh. And that includes the bathrooms as well?
It depends. Some halls have more than one bathroom available to each floor, so bathrooms are designated male or female. Some halls do not. Some floors only have one bathroom per floor. So we actually leave it up to the residents. When you arrive on campus, the bathroom will be neutral, and then the floor gets together and votes on what the bathroom is going to become. Is this going to be the male bathroom and the female bathroom is going to be on the floor below, or is it going to be half the bathroom is male and half the bathroom is female? Or is it going to be by stall, or is it going to be anything goes kind of? But it's a unanimous or a consensus vote among the floor. So it's definitely a conversation that you'll be having with your RA if you're living on a floor that has a co-ed bathroom. We take it very seriously. We want to make sure that everyone's comfortable. So if you have any reservations about this, you're absolutely feel free to let me know or let your RA know at any time, because we do want to make sure that you're comfortable in your living environment.
An RA is a resident assistant that lives on each floor and serves as a student leader and a resource for you. So if you have questions or if you have any concerns about campus and social life and living on a communal hallway and sharing a space with someone, that's who you would go and talk to. You'll be introduced to them early on. They'll make their rounds as you're moving into your residence hall rooms to introduce themselves.
The next question goes back to the bathrooms. Do we need to bring our own shower curtains?
No, shower curtains are currently installed.
Great. Do we get the option of choosing between bunked and unbunked beds? At what point in time do we get to choose, and is it before we arrive on campus?
All beds are debunked when we arrange them for the summer. If you know that you and your roommate would like a bunked bed, after July 1, after you know where you're living, feel free to send me an email and we will have your beds bunked ahead of time. Please do not bunk your own beds. It's very easy to damage them or damage the wall. We prefer that you just let us know and we'll send our B&G guys right over and we will bunk your beds for you. But yes, there's at any time you wish your bed to be bunked or debunked, all you have to do is let me know and we'll take care of it.
Great. So Nick, this one is more to you. Are there a lot of concerts and movie nights, etc., held on campus at Randolph?
Yes. So as I said, I advise the Making Activities Council, and they do a number of different events throughout the semester. We try to average about one a week, but sometimes more, sometimes less. We have a couple week-long programs as well. But we did a major concert last year, which we'll again do this year. I'm not sure who the artist is going to be yet. But we do concerts, movie nights, bingo nights, trivia nights, coffee house type things. Really anything you can imagine we try to do and try to keep the events fresh.
The great thing about the Making Activities Council is that if you have an idea, you can share it with them, and they really do listen and try to incorporate what your end goal and learning outcomes from that social experience would be.
Thank you. Let's see. What appliances are we allowed to have in our dorms?
You're allowed. Me answer that in the negative. The only appliances that you're really not allowed are ones that draw a lot of power from the circuit, from the building. So you're not allowed to have microwaves, but you are allowed to have refrigerators. If you would like a microwave, you have to have one of the micro fridge combinations, the two units that are together. Other than that, your appliances are really at your discretion. You can have a hair straightener, you can have your blender, you can have your, you name it. But really what we're looking at is the big ticket items. Please do not bring a very large fridge. There's the 3.75 cubic feet fridge, that's the standard. There's the smaller microwaves that attach to that. But really the appliances are pretty wide open beside that. If you have a question about a specific appliance that you think may or may not be appropriate, feel free to email me at any time, and I'll let you know. We also have in the student handbook a list of banned appliances. It's a little extensive, and I won't repeat it here, but if you're ever worried about whether you can or cannot bring, that I will include a link in my July email that's related to your housing assignment to that section of the student handbook. So you'll be able to look up what you can and cannot bring, and that'll be better to just look at that list.
Great. Are there appliances that they can use through the college? Are there?
Each kitchen has a different set of appliances. Some kitchens have toaster ovens. Some kitchens have, all kitchens have microwaves and ovens. you will not really need to bring your personal cooking appliances with you. If you want, you can bring basic cooking appliance, like what's it called, pans, pots and pans. You can bring your personal pots and pans, silverware, things like that. But as far as major cooking stuff, the kitchens are pretty well stocked. You will have there's a fridge, there's a range, there's an oven. We have microwaves. Any specialty items you would have to bring.
If you're interested in renting a microfridge on campus, you also have the opportunity to do that. We have a contract with a corporation in town called Melvin Corp. And Ben could probably tell you a little bit more about the process of how to reserve one of those when you return to campus.
You'll be getting a letter to your home address in the next few weeks from Melvin Corporation. And it'll be from me, but it's really from the corporation. And they'll be offering you a chance to rent one of their micro fridges. And they will deliver it directly to you on campus, and they will also pick it up. And the charge, I believe, off the top of my head, it's in the $200 range per semester or per year. But the letter will be coming in the next few weeks. So if you do not want to run out and purchase a micro fridge, the rental is a great opportunity to just have one for the year.
A commonly asked question is whether or not you would need 2 refrigerators or 2 micro fridges in your room. Most roommate payers are fine with just one, and will usually split the cost of that rental fee.
Excellent.
You're going to need a lot less than you think you're going to need.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like seriously, don't pack it all. Like, people throw away stuff because they bring too much. So
Leave the U-Haul at home.
Next, we have just a clarification question on bunking. Is it available / allowed in all dorms to have your beds bunked or not?
Yes.
Okay.
No matter where you live, you will have that option.
Okay. Excellent. Are students required to live on campus?
Yes. Students are required to live on campus for their 4 years. If you go beyond your 4 years, not that any of you will, once you meet your semester requirement, you can be released off campus if you choose. Also, if you live within 50 miles of the college or are over the age of 24 or you have children, and there are a couple other extenuating circumstances, you can apply to me directly to live off campus. But you have to meet those criteria in order to live off campus. For the most part, we have a 99% on-campus requirement.
Okay. Excellent. What furniture comes with our rooms?
You have a bed, a dresser, and a desk. And most rooms have also a small nightstand table that usually 2 per room for each bed. And that's the standard complement. You may find that some of your rooms have old furniture that may have been left, like an extra chair or things like that, but all that stuff is usually removed before you come in. So you'll have a desk chair, a dresser, a bed, a nightstand table, and some rooms, such as in Maine, do not have built-in closets. Instead, you have a freestanding armoire. That's a very large hanging closet. And that's the extent of the furniture that we provide. It's usually adequate. No, I do not know of any students who bring their own furniture. It's very unusual. You'll have more than enough.
Excellent. And I believe this is probably going to end up going to both Kim and Ben, but how are the housing assignments made?
So, we take your housing survey that you filled out, that's also part of the course preference form, and we basically match you based on that survey. If you've indicated that you have someone with whom you'd like to live, we take that very seriously and we will pair you. If you have not, most people do not, so don't get worried if you haven't listed anyone. 99% of people don't list anyone, and it's great, actually, because the housing survey, is very long, it's very detailed. That enables us to really match you based on your personal traits, how loud you want your music, what time you go to bed, that kind of thing. It enables us to really pair you with someone who's going to share a similar lifestyle. You might not necessarily share similar interests, or you might be involved in different activities, and that's great because you'll meet someone who has different interests and activities, gets you involved in different things. But we definitely take seriously sort of the key elements. We want to make sure that you're paired with someone who, if you're a non-smoker, we won't put you with a smoker. If you don't like to drink, we won't put you with someone who likes to drink. That kind of stuff. If someone goes to bed early, we'll put you with someone also who goes to bed early. We'll make sure that the key elements are the same. So that's what we do. We take that survey and we match you based on your survey results. As far as what room you get in what residence hall, that's based on your courses on your first year seminar. Each each seminar is placed into a housing block, and those blocks go into different residence halls. So if you picked, these several courses and you get into that one, you'll be in this block or that block. And at this point, we haven't finished our assignments yet, so I don't have any answers for any questions that might come up about what block am I living in or that. We don't know that yet. We'll know that. You'll find out on July 1st what block you're in and where you're living.
Excellent. That actually answered our next question, which was when will I find out about my housing assignment? What items should I bring to campus and what shouldn't I bring?
On July 1st, I'm going to email you that list. I'm going to give you a big list of what to bring and what not to bring. That's a hard question to answer. It really depends on you. If you have a hobby that you absolutely love, I'm not going to ask you to leave your loom at home or your fencing equipment, whatever it may be. Bring what you think you need. To be perfectly honest, most students bring more than they'll ever need, and they bring too much. I had a roommate that came with 2 suitcases, and that was it. And we didn't bring very much. Most students, what you'll find is the first year you'll bring way too much. The next year you won't bring as much. By the time you're a senior, you will bring like half of what you brought when you were first year. So it's never, pack what you would need to live somewhere, what you have at home. Your clothes, your favorite whatever, your stuffed animal, your you'll have like the bare bones of what you need. You might not need a TV if your roommate's bringing one. So after July 1st, you will know a lot more. I encourage you to talk with your roommate about what he or she is bringing, and if you both are planning on bringing like the same stuff, you'll be able to bring a lot less. You might not both need a TV. You might not both need a fridge. You might not both need, if you have the same shoe size, you might share shoes. I don't know. You'll figure it out. But definitely on July 1st, you'll get a list, and it'll say things like don't bring your horse unless you can stable it, that kind of stuff.
All right. Can I send packages in advance of my arrival?
Yes, you can, as a matter of fact. What we'll be doing is you won't really want to do anything with sending packages or materials until at least August 1st. And then the mail room can accept some small packages. You wouldn't want to ship your entire house to the mailroom, for example. But we'll give you the address that you can send those to, and we'll post that on the web for you so that you'll have an opportunity to do that. And usually that's after August 1st.
Great. This is a good one. Can I have pets in my room?
No.
Dang it.
You can't have pets. If you have a medical condition that requires a service animal, that is covered under the ADA, the American with Disabilities Act, and that requires special documentation to my office and also our student support office. So if you have indicated on your medical forms or on the student housing form that you have a condition that's medically verifiable and that's signed off by a physician that requires a service animal, you can submit that to me. And that was due June 1, but we're happy to take it after the deadline. So if this comes as something you'd like to investigate, feel free to contact me at any time, and we can take care of that. No pets. The caveat is you can have fish as long as the tank is less than 35 gallons, no, 10 gallons, 5 gallons. It's in the handbook. You can have fish as long as it's a fish bowl.
It's not 35
gallons.
gallons.
No, not 35 gallons.
Big bowl.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Fish bowl.
It's a fish bowl. You can bring your pet fish as long as it's a bowl. You can't bring a tank and no snakes, that kind of stuff. So no, fish are the only pet that's actually allowed.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Is there a gym on campus?
Yes.
There is. There are actually 2 gyms on campus. We have one down in our Recreation and Dance Center that's open to all students. It is a gym that has free weights as well as weight machines and cardio machines. So that's where you'll see a lot of athletic teams practicing and gearing up for season, and a lot of other students as well that are interested in working out in several different ways to make sure that they are getting a good rotation in types of exercise that they're engaging in. But we also have a cardio center in the student center on the 3rd and the 4th floors. Nick actually oversees that space, and it is mostly cardio. We do have one weight system on the 4th floor, but you're going to see ellipticals, treadmills, stair steppers, and stair stepper elliptical combos mostly in that space.
Excellent. Let's see. Can we talk a little bit about health insurance for students? Are they covered when they're off campus?
Yes, you're covered. You bring your, so health insurance is, sometimes gets complex. You carry your own health insurance. If you do not have your own health insurance, the college does provide it. And that information will be coming available to you very shortly. You'll be contacted by the Dean of Students as soon as those contracts have gone through. They haven't gone through just yet. We have a new service provider. But you are covered as long as you are a student, no matter whether you are on campus or off campus, under your own health insurance and the college's health insurance, if you should need the college's health insurance. The college asks for a waiver of insurance. If you're carrying your own insurance, you have to provide proof of that insurance to the college, and that will be made clear very shortly in a communication to every student once we change over our healthcare provider. So that information is not available anywhere right now. Don't worry about it just yet. Very soon that will be very clear. The Dean of Students will send out a communication regarding health insurance.
Excellent. When do we receive our student IDs?
I can start that off. If you're coming to our June 21st or 28th event, one of the things we will do is get you a badge, which is your student ID card, and you'll be taking your photograph at that point. And I'll also be doing that at move-in as well if you aren't able to be here in the summertime, so there's a lot of opportunity.
We have a system whereby even if you can't come for the summer session, I will be emailing you about sending me a picture that you would like to be on your pass, your ID card. And there's some parameters there. It has to be a certain height, and you have to be looking at it. But you'll be able to actually go online and upload your own picture, and then it'll be printed out ahead of time. So when you come on the 27th of August, we will hand you your already made ID card. And for those of you who don't do that, don't worry. We'll have stations set up so that if you don't upload one or you don't come to one of our summer sessions, we'll be able to take a picture as soon as you get here. It's one of the very first things we do. And as soon as you come on August 27th, we'll take your picture and go get your ID card immediately. They just print right out and we'll just hand it to you.
Excellent. If we're unable to attend our summer advising sessions, when can we plan to speak with our advisors?
If you're unable to attend the June sessions, you actually will be able to take a look at your schedule on the portal. Probably at the end of the month, we'll have everything all wrapped up. So you should be able to take a look at the courses that the master advisors have suggested for you. And you will be able to meet with an advisor during the orientation programming in the fall and have an opportunity to make any changes that you might need to at that point.
Excellent. All right. On to the next question. Are there student organizations on campus?
Yeah, we have a good number of clubs and organizations on campus. If you get here and you don't relate to or aren't interested in any of the clubs that we currently have, you can always start your own. And our clubs are run through student government, so it's just a quick proposal through student government, and you can start your own club if you and some of your friends are interested in starting one. Some of the clubs we have on campus are, just shout them out, I'm not going to be able to think of any as I'm talking.
Sure. We have the Competitive Gaming Club. We have Circle K International, which is a volunteer organization club for students. We have The Worm, which is our radio station. They broadcast live here in our Student Center space, and they're able to plan concerts as well on campus. We have
Sundial. Yeah.
Yes, the Randolph Role Playing Society, or Live Action Role Playing Society, if you're familiar with that terminology. So they'll be given kind of a scene to act out with different props, and they'll act those out. And most of them are really funny and also require foam swords, which are a lot of fun to hit people with. So
College Republicans, Young Democrats. We have the Physics Club. We have the school newspaper.
we have Campus Outreach 905, which is a Christian organization for students. They meet both on campus and off campus with a local church here that helps oversee that program.
Excellent. Do we have intramural sports?
So we do. We do a few intramural type activities every semester. Next year we've already planned out some. We'll do a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We'll do a turkey bowl kind of flag football thing around Thanksgiving time. We'll do inner tube water polo. We'll do kickball, dodgeball. We've got a bunch of events planned already for next year.
Excellent. Where can I find out about important dates and deadline information?
That is available on the new student website, which is currently up. If you go to www.randolphcollege.com/new students, you'll get to see not only look for the enrollment calendar, which has all the dates and information in there. It has your arrival dates as well. Arrival dates will differ for students depending on your status. For example, if you are playing soccer, volleyball, what else am I missing? Cross country. I think that's it.
Yeah,
Soccer,
that's
volleyball,
it.
and cross country. You actually do arrive earlier than everyone else on campus, so you do check your arrival dates there. They will be different. If you are a super student and you're participating in that program, you'll arrive even earlier, around the 13th of August. So the enrollment calendar does give you all those important dates and deadlines and links as well.
Excellent.
Once you're on campus, we do also have a campus calendar located on the portal that will keep you posted on social dates on campus, as well as meetings that you might be interested in attending that are open to the public, whether that's faculty, staff, or students that could come to those community meetings. So that is the point of reference to look for, not necessarily deadlines, but dates and opportunities to get plugged in and involved on campus early on.
Excellent. How does the meal plan work?
You have a certain number of meals per week, and you'll use your PAW Pass when going to the dining hall, and you'll swipe in. And one swipe is one meal, and every time you go, you'll swipe, it'll subtract one meal from your account, and you go until your meals are done for the week. And on your meal plan, you'll be able to eat every meal, and you shouldn't have to miss any meals. You also have declining balance. It's called dining dollars here, and depending on your level of, I believe it's $80. I'll have to look it up. But you have either between $50 and $80 or $120 that you can use at the Skeller for various meals and snacks, things like that. But usually it's a one-to-one, one swipe, one meal per week, and that's it. There's no other trick to it.
So you have the 3 swipes during the week, and you have 2 swipes on the weekend. With that being said, if you can't make dining hours in our campus dining center, you can participate in a program called Meal Equivalency at our Skeller, which is the snack bar that Kim referenced earlier in conversation, and that Ben was just talking about if you want to add additional money to your PAW Pass for food. So you will be able to have a meal option after hours if you are on a sports team and you have practice or you have class during time that would be traditional dinner hours or lunch out. Well, just dinner hours for students.
The quesadillas are very popular.
Absolutely are.
And if you have any other meal plan questions, feel free to contact my office, and we'll get you right in touch with Dining Services. Or you can contact Dining Services directly, but we're more than happy to facilitate any conversation that you have surrounding special meal requirements. I know a lot of you will have either allergies or maybe a special dietary restriction. Just let me know, and we can work with our head chef or the director of dining services, and we can make sure that you have the appropriate meals. We're more than willing to work with you around any meal restriction or dietary requirement.
Excellent. And just so no one is concerned, I will post all of the contact information for each of our panelists after this event, so you don't have to worry about wondering how you're going to get in touch with them. Our next question is, what type of security is provided on campus?
We have over 30 call stations posted throughout the main walking areas of campus that are blue box for emergency situations. That when you push the button, you'll be put directly in touch with the campus safety officer. They also light up in their emergency response stations. We have walking patrols throughout all of campus, around the perimeter and the interior of campus. We also have an on-call rotation where there's always multiple layers of administrators on call at all times in addition to campus safety. So we're 24-hour, 7 days a week response at any time for any emergency. We also have student staff who are on duty in addition to campus safety and professional administrators. So we have a 3-layer response team and there are always multiple layers on call at all times. So Lynchburg's this area, there's very little crime. It's very, very safe. Even that being the case, we have a constant surveillance method and constant patrols just to make sure. We take it very, very seriously, but right now we haven't really experienced any major difficulties.
Excellent.
Several staff members and security officers are also trained in first aid and CPR, as well as serving as a first responder for campus. So we do have staff members in place that can take care of you in an emergency situation before EMS can arrive to assess the situation.
Excellent. During orientation, what time do our parents get kicked off campus?
You can kick your parents off whenever you want. I mean, it's so 9 o'clock is the arrival time, right? And we have it on the schedule that 5 p.m. is the official departure time. Before that, parents have specific parent programming. We have a couple panel presentations. That's a lot of P's in a sentence. We have a couple panel presentations where parents will sit down with people from student life, sit down with people from financial aid. We have a special program for parents of students that are first-generation college students. You might be the first person in your family to go to school, go to college. So we have a special program for parents that are for first-generation, their son or daughter's first-generation college students. So all those things happen in the afternoon. You won't be with them at that point. You'll be with your Davenport group. So you won't see them really after lunch. But their official departure time is 5 p.m. on August 27th. That's when they get kicked off campus. But they might stay around, so you have to talk about it. Yeah, seriously, they stay around. Some of them. Okay.
Are there opportunities to do community service?
Absolutely. There are going to be a lot of opportunities for community service this year. We're unrolling a new program in the fall, so you'll be the first year class to experience what that program will entail. As I mentioned earlier, we have an opportunity for first year students to serve as community service fellows. The application deadline has passed for that, but if you're interested in applying, please send me an email and we can work something out together to make sure that you can have at least an opportunity to apply for that experience. Those projects, there are 8 projects that will be involved with that particular leadership position, and students on campus can volunteer with those on the actual event date as well. So if you're not interested in a leadership position per se, but you do want to give back and get involved, you're still able to do that on the event date. Those include our alternative fall break and spring break trips, which could be local trips or trips to go into other communities to see what needs there are for nonprofit organizations. This past year, we took a trip to Camp Friendship in Palmyra, Virginia for our fall break trip, and we helped prepare the camp for their fall camps. They had a horseback riding camp coming up. They had a family and fun fall festival where they opened the camp up for free to the children in the area for pumpkin patches and face painting and pony rides, and just to let people know that the camp is open and welcoming of the families and the children in that area. For spring break, we went to Carolina Beach and we volunteered with several organizations. We worked with animals at Paul's Place Pet Rescue. We worked with the aquarium to do a beach sweep and learn more about the structure of the aquarium and the intentionality there to help save and preserve the wildlife and the animals that were there. We worked with the homeless and were able to serve meals to them on the streets. We packed up a minibus and drove to 3 different locations, put up card tables and food, and we were able to interact with that population in Wilmington, North Carolina, and make sure that they were able to get a hearty and a warm meal that evening. We have opportunities with the Paul Community Resources to plan a formal dance for individuals with intellectual and mental challenges. We have an opportunity for tutoring Thursdays at the Boys and Girls Club if you're really interested in helping children and mentoring in that fashion. We also have a day that we're going to plan that's going to be an SAT prep day for high school students in the area through an organization called Beacon of Hope. It's an organization that helps high school students receive scholarships and just make sure that they're prepared for applying to college. And you would be great resources because you're just going through that transition yourself and you'll be able to share your own experiences. We'll be working with the Daily Bread, which is our local hunger and homeless organization and awareness program, where we'll be serving lunch to the homeless population every second Sunday of the month. So those are just a few opportunities to get involved. You'll also get your hands wet and dirty when you come to orientation. We do have a day of service on that Saturday, and each orientation group will go with their Davenport leader and potentially a faculty or staff member on campus to a site to volunteer and give back.
Excellent. Next question is, where can I get a copy of the student handbook?
The student handbook is available online, and if you go to the main Randolph webpage and search student handbook, you'll get it. It's also in the student life tab. The student the Randolph webpage is about to go on a major renovation, and it will be updated starting in July. So if things change on you, don't be worried. So things will be different, and your links that you have saved or that you have been given may or may not work still. We don't know. So please check the webpage again after July 1 to see how it looks and if things are still in the place that you expect them to be. But no matter what, the search function will work. So if you're looking for something online, still use the search function and type in Student Handbook. I will also include a link to the Student Handbook in my July email to you with your housing assignment. So you'll have access to it. We are constantly updating the Student Handbook, so it will go through several updates this summer. In September, by August 27th, the handbook will be set for the upcoming year. So over the summer, I recommend perusing, the student handbook, but you don't have to memorize or anything like that. There's a lot of information in there. It will look dramatically different when we start school in the fall. And the student handbook is actually something that we cover during orientation and in residence life, in the residence halls, sections of it. We won't read through it, but we'll address various aspects of policy from the student handbook that are important for you to know. Things like, what do I do if I get in trouble, or what do I do for dining services? It's all in there, so we'll make sure that you have that resource.
Great. What is the college's honor code, and how does it affect me?
Who wants to answer that?
The honor code really, in a nutshell, allows for students to learn to and experience what it's like to live honorably in a community with other people. I think most students will tell you that the three main facets of our honor code include don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. But it is more involved in that. We have self-scheduled exams, which means that we trust you as students to schedule your own exams and be able to take those at your leisure. So you're probably used to having exams in high school where your professor is going to tell you when they're going to be, what class that's going to be, what day that's going to take place, what time. Here you're able to choose your location as to where you feel comfortable taking your exam. You get to choose what day you want to take that exam on, and we trust that you're going to follow the honor code and you're not going to use any resources or take any resources into that exam space as you're taking the exam. I think that the honor code has a social piece as well, and Ben really works a lot with our social violations hearing process and our judiciary processes in relation to the honor code. And living in a residence hall for the first time can be nerve-wracking, but there are social expectations that are involved there and that are expected in the community. A lot of those conversations you will be having with your res life staff when you arrive to campus. That could be anything from deciding what your bathroom's going to be like on the residence hall and how you're going to treat that space and treat each other.
The honor code is not something that only applies to students in the classroom. It's a way of Randolph life. It's a social expectation and an academic expectation. It's the thing that binds the institution together. In a very general sense, the idea of honor or living honorably have a subset of expectations. You'll be honest. You'll respect others. You'll respect yourself. You won't do anything that casts an ill light on the institution. You'll respect local laws and ordinances in a very general sense. But it's more than that. It's rising to a new way of behaving, a new way of understanding your place in larger society. It's very pervasive, and it's something that we will do a lot of work with you on. During orientation, we have honor-specific programming where members of the Judiciary Committee, who are the students who are responsible for enforcing the honor code, come to your first floor meeting. And they explain what the honor code is and what the expectations of the honor code are. In addition, we have honor-specific programming on the Friday of orientation, where we have a lecture, we break up into small groups, we go over case studies. We also have an honor dinner, where we'll have an address by one of our faculty members who will talk about the nature of the honor code as it relates to your life at Randolph, and we'll have a formal dinner And that's not, it doesn't end there. It really is something that you will encounter quite often. And it's something that we take very seriously. Students take very seriously as well. It's one of the reasons students can leave their personal belongings on campus and they don't have to worry. No one, you can leave your laundry detergent in the laundry room and nothing's going to happen to it. It's something that people take very seriously. People leave their iPhones, and whatever phone they might have, their laptops around everywhere. You know, it's something that really people respect and people gravitate toward. So we'll be doing a lot of work surrounding the honor code.
Excellent.
I'm going to put on the hat of our Director of Safety and Security
Yeah.
for a minute and just say that we do have visitors that are on campus with our students and that might be part of the community for different events that we have. So so use your gut check, you know, lock your rooms before you leave.
Don't leave your
Especially-
iPhones around.
Right, especially if we do have those guests on campus or you see them on your hallway. So be mindful of that. You know, our students are very aware of the honor code, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their guests or our community members are.
You should lock your mailbox, I think. And a lot of our students don't lock their mailboxes because no one takes mail, but yeah, that's up to you. Whatever.
All right. Let's see, we're getting down to our last couple of questions here, so if you do have any last minute questions, please feel free to just enter those in now. Otherwise, our second to last question is, do we get mirrors in the dorms?
Yes. Every room has a mirror on the back. It's either on the back of the door or it's inside your armoire when you open it up.
Okay. And for our final question this evening, are the dorms air conditioned?
2 of our resident halls are. West Hall is, and so is Bell Hall. There are no first years living in West, but there are first years on the middle 3 floors of, the first 3 floors of Bell. So those lucky souls have air conditioning. If you need air conditioning for medical necessity, you're more than welcome to submit that paperwork that's signed off by your physician, and you can submit that to me.
Excellent. We'd like to thank you all for joining us for this evening's Randolph College Student Life panel. We hope that the answers that were given this evening were helpful and that you're looking forward to getting onto campus again for either our summer orientation classes or orientation this fall. We are certainly excited to have you, and we hope that you all have a great night. Thanks so much.